Hi, I'm Pam Hayes from Hayes Sewing Machine Company of Wilmington, Delaware, and welcome back to our creative videos. And today we are going to be doing a bag. And this is a cute little tote. That's a panel. It gives you all the instructions that you need right there. And to me, I just thought that was stunning. Nice and soft. It's very beach oriented. And I just thought it'd be really
Great
pretty.
for summer. Yeah.
Great for summer. Yeah. Okay.
And it's a little different than a cotton fabric too, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a little heavier.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a little heavier. So when you're working with this guy, it is designed that when you fold it, it will be the same on both sides.
Oh, how cool.
So you don't have to worry about anything being upside down.
It's like somebody planned it.
I know, right? And there's no bottom seam. So I always think that's a little stronger. Okay. So basically what they want you to do is it has a pocket that you're going to be using on the inside. Okay? It has where you can actually label it for somebody. It says this bag belongs to. You get out your embroidery machine, fabric markers, or leave it blank if you want to give it as a gift. Okay, now what they want you to do is they want you to finish off the edge, okay? They only recommend the top, okay? But look at it, it's gonna fray a little bit, so I'm gonna serge around the outside of all of it. I have my machine set up as a 3-thread narrow, which means I have the right needle in. Could you use a 4-thread? Of course, absolutely, whatever your serger is set up with. So we're gonna go, and I'm just going to serge all the way around. And we're just going to we're trimming off just the barest minimum. Ta-da! Alright. Now, most people say, Pam, what do you do with the little tags that are coming down, the little thread bits? In this case, just cut them off. Okay, they're going to be tucked under. There's going to be a hem. I wouldn't worry about them doing anything untoward, as they would say. Okay, so we're going to take and we're just going to fold to the back. Okay, so just fold to the back about a 1/2 inch. Again, they'll give you all the measurements in there, and I'm going to just give it a press. All right, and we're going to stitch across the top. And we're going to sew at about 1/2 inch. All right, so we've sewn across. Now we're going to press under a 1/2 inch all the way around. All right, so we have pressed under all of the other bits. Now, they say place your pocket wherever you like, in a nutshell. so remember, we're going to fold this down twice. Okay, so it's going to have a fold twice. So when you're working with it, you want to allow for that. And you're going to also remember to put your pocket, most of the time, on the inside. So we were discussing it. Where would you put your pocket? And we figured about 6 inches down. from that raw edge, which will make it about like 4 inches or so when it's done. And we're going to go and that looks pretty good. Could you get out your markers and mark it? Absolutely. It's a bag. It's a bag on the inside. I don't think anybody's going to really notice too much. Now the only thing you're going to be good, right, and you're going to remember to do is only sew the sides and the bottom. Because at that point, if you sew all the way around, you have a patch with no pocket. All right?
Good enough.
Good enough. And I am going to help myself out. I'm going to change the presser foot to an edge stitching foot. So if you have a Bernina, it's going to be foot 10. And it has a guide on it, which makes life a little easier. And why would you say would I want to use a guide? Well, let me show you. And you're going to line it up. And the first thing you're going to notice, if you line up the guide along with the edge of the pocket, your needle's not going to hit it, the pocket. So we need to move our needle, in this case, to the left. How far over you want to go, that is your big decision. Whether you want to top stitch it at like 1/8 of an inch, 1/16 of an inch, whatever works for you. I have moved mine so it says -3, which is going to give me about 1/8 of an inch. And now it's going to make life very simple. I sew down, raise the foot, pivot, and sew down around. Now, either put the pins further in so it's not going to bother the presser foot as you sew by them, or take them out as you go.
I was just going to say, I love the way you stuck the pins in further, and
further.
then you didn't have to fuss with them.
Yeah, I only had to take one out. All right, and we're going to go and just do a little back stitch. All right, and our pocket's sewn on, just that quick. All right, so now I have serged, like I said, hopefully, I've serged around the outside of the bag, just so it's done. I don't have to think about it. Now we're going to take this and we're going to place this in half, and we're going to sew our 1/2 inch seam allowance. All right, so I just throw a couple of pins in. And there are some marks at the bottom, so we just want to make sure they're close enough. All right, and we're going to pin it on both sides. Now, people will say, can I just do this with my serger? And the answer is sure, absolutely. Like the seam edge and stuff like that we're doing. Could you do it on the serger? Absolutely. I know what I put in my bags.
You test the tensile strength of the fabric. Is that what you're saying, Pam?
I do. So I like to. So if I was serging, go for it. But I would tend to have the line, kind of in the middle. Just sew another straight stitch in there. And if you are really tough on bags, and you know who you are, and consider a triple straight stitch.
Okay.
Triple straight stitch will do a very nice job for you. And triple straight stitch is available on most machines nowadays. It's kind of a current thing. And it's just going to make life a lot simpler for you. Alright, so I'm going to go back to my basic straight stitch, 1/2 inch seam allowance. And I'm here to tell you, if you are a quilter, it's going to seem huge. You're like, no, I can't believe it. So we're going to do a 1/2 inch seam. There you go. Sounds like my machine is running really slow. All right, and then we're gonna go, and guess what? We're gonna do the same thing on the other end. Could you sew it from the top down or from the bottom of the bag up? I don't really think it matters one or the other. If you put a couple pins in there, I think you're fine. This bag is unlined, so you don't need to worry about lining it. If you wanted to line it, yeah, just cut out another piece just like this one and treat it as one. This is probably going to be my beach bag, so I don't think I want to line it necessarily.
Lots of sand in between, huh?
Yep. All right. So we'll leave that aside for just a second. Handles. Bag is always good to have handles.
Mm-hmm.
And what they recommend doing is they give you, again, they're all printed. I thought that was a beautiful choice.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to take and you're going to fold it in half and make a crease. And then you open it up and you fold each edge in. So it'll look like that when you're done. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to do that real quick. So we're just going to take Could you do webbing handles? Sure. Can't see any reason why not. But like I said, this is just supposed to be a sweet, quick bag, and a lot of times don't overthink it. So I'm just going to give this a press.
Feel like I should sing the Jeopardy song.
Yep.
Da, na, na.
All right. Then we're just going to flip it in half.
But I like this way of doing handles because then you don't have to flip them.
Yes. Yeah, it'll take a few seconds on the beginning end of it to get it lined up. But honestly,
It's really how I prefer to do handles
Yeah.
nowadays.
Yeah. Especially if you put batting or something in there. Yeah, you want to have something. All right, now back to my edge stitch foot. And we do that so it just makes life a little easier when we line this up. And remember, you choose how far in you do your top stitch. But again, I'm doing like -3, which means that's going to the left. If for some reason you want to line it up on the other side, that would be 3 to the plus.
Gotcha.
And you see how you can go quite quick basically, because I'm not really having to watch the needle, what I'm watching is right here, where the guide is. We're going to flip it around, and I like to top stitch on both sides. It's just one of those quirky things.
Yeah, by top stitching on both sides, it's symmetrical, which, feeds my soul. But it also makes it so that the handle doesn't twist it nearly as much.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It lays flatter.
It lays flatter. All right, you're going to do the same thing on the other handle. So again, remember, I tend to do the open side first. That way nothing weird will happen. I get the feeling that I'm not going fast enough for her.
They can't see me. I'm focused in on your sewing.
She went and pressed the handle for me. All right, so we got that done. Now, at this point, let's see which way they do it. Yes, okay. We're going to mark where we want the handles to be. And honestly, what they say is mark the desired placement of the straps. Because, and I can understand that, because you're going to find that some people say, well, I don't know why they said 5, I like 6, and etc. So what I tend to do is I'll find the center of the bag. So I'm going to mark the center of the bag, like so. And then we're going to find that, and I measure that, so that will basically be, give me an idea, it's going to be like 8.5 inches. Okay, so I keep 8.5 in your mind. All right, 8.5. Now what we want to do first though is we're going to go and we're going to give this a press, and we want to do it twice. Okay, so if you take a look, they have 2 marks.
Let me scan in on that. Hold on for a second. Yep.
Okay, there and there. And they say fold and fold. So basically, they want us to fold and then fold again.
Nice.
All right, so we're going to do that. And I'm just going to use the end of my ironing board to make life easier. And it's like 3/4 of an inch, roughly. Whatever you do, just keep it consistent. And once we have done it one time, we're going to go and do it again. So it wants to have a nice, neat double top. It'll give it added strength. We don't want anything tearing. Like I said, remember, I test the tensile strength of my bags.
Well, yeah, because, when you go to the beach, you
bring
might
a
not, you need magazines, and you need a proper book,
A proper
something
book.
that's like intellectual, and then kind of a beach novel.
And then by the time you
and then,
realize it-
we need suntan lotion, and we need
Yeah.
So, yeah, I can understand. Because you don't want to hike all the way back up to the boardwalk because you're like, all the reading material you brought with you wasn't what you wanted to read.
That's right. All right, and then at this time, I'll just kind of press the side seam. Why not? I'm here, so let's just go and press it down. Okay. All right. Don't top stitch it yet, though.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So remember we talked about 8.5 inches, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're good. Our memory's good today. All right. So I'm going to put 8.5 inches, and I'm going to put a pin. I like to put my handles about 2.5 inches from the center.
Okay.
That way I have kind of a nice arc.
5-inch
Yeah.
space.
So you want...
I did that math in my head.
Woohoo! Go for it. She's showing off now. All right. So I line up the pin where the center was, and I line up what the handle would be at 2.5. And they want you to tuck it in, and then we're going to basically sew it up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Now we want to make sure our handles are not... Now that I'm looking at 2.5, I think I'm going to want 3 better. So I can understand why they say put it at desired. So we're doing it at 3. Yep, I'm right there. Okay, so we get that. We're going to flip it around. And we're going to do the same on the other side. And basically, I just slide it in. I don't worry about doing all the marking.
So long as it matches the first side, you're in good shape.
Pretty much. And I will double check it in just a second. You got to start somewhere, right? And make sure you don't twist it. Nothing's more annoying. Well, there's several things more annoying, but
Show them how you check,
sure.
because I use that all the time when you showed me.
All right. So what I do is I line up on the inside of the mark, and I go all the way around. And it's also on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yes.
If you end up in the outside, then something's wrong.
And most of us, yes, you could twist many times, but I'm hoping that if you notice this twist that many times, you would notice that. So again, when you get it lined up,
and you pulled it out, so make sure you
Yes.
double check it.
Yep. So when I do it, I make sure. There you go. That should do me good. But again, inside, run your finger all the way around, and it should be
Inside.
good.
It's genius.
It's just easy way of doing it. So now at this point, we're going to bring the handles up, and they look good. Yep. Okay. So when we go to sew this, you want to take, and you're going to move your needle position to the other side this time. I'm going to also lengthen out my stitch.
What length are you at?
3.
3?
Yep, just made it a little longer. So as I'm coming, I'm going to top stitch the handles up.
Mm-hmm.
Flip it up.
And just pop your hands away from it for a second. There you go. Okay, great.
All right. And you want to try to get it as straight as possible, like perpendicular. Don't do anything silly. Okay. Okay, and again, I'm coming around to the other side. Same thing, you get close. Just take it and flip it up. And your foot might want to get caught on it because, again, you're going from just basically 3 layers to like 27. Well, it's not 27, but you get the idea.
Yep.
It's bulky. Just raise the foot. And we're going across. Okay, and we're doing the same thing. Flipping the handles up. Again, raise your foot if you need to. All right. Left that a little late. There you go. It still works. All right, we're coming around to the other side. All right, now we have one more thing to do because technically you could be done. Absolutely. Technically you could be done, but who wants a flat bag? Take a look, you know, flat. We need depth. All right, so I do a little snip down the bottom so that seam allowance will lay flat. Okay, now what we want to do, the bottom, which is technically the fold, we're going to open up, and I'm going to put a little bit of a crease at that bottom. All right, so we're going to open up. The seam wants to go at the crease. How do you know if you have it there? You take it and you poke it on through. You see I'm a little off. So at this point, just there you go, maneuver it. How far down are you going to come? They want you to come down 2 inches. There you go. 2 inches.
Ooh, right at the pin.
I know. That won't happen again, so don't worry about it. All right, so when you're working with it, you don't need your edge stitch foot. Your regular foot will work just fine. And we're going to stitch across. Now, this is a good time if you want to reinforce it to do like a triple straight stitch. But we're just going to sew straight across. Could you draw a line on there? Absolutely. I'm not going to worry about it. All right, same thing, other side. Open it up. So we have our triangular piece, and that's why I kind of snip that bit.
Mm-hmm.
That way these seam allows would open up. I'll see if I can do 2 for 2. Okay, so when we line it up, nope, not even close on this one. All right. It's fighting me a little bit today. So's the pin. There you go. All right. So we're going to go straight across. We're just going to measure it. This is a little long. I can just tell by looking at it. Yep, so I need to move that pin in. That looks good. Just double check. Yep. All right. So across, make sure you secure at either end. Don't want your ice cream money to be sliding out.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I do not have a serger at home, I'll show you the stitch that I use to finish off the edge. So you want to trim it. Okay, so you're about 1/4 inch. I know some people will like strengthen this and attach it to the bottom. Well, think about it. This is literally going to be my beach bag. You want a lot of sand caught in there? I don't think so. So we're going to work with a multi-zigzag stitch or serpentine stitch, depending on how long you've been sewing. And it's going to do a lot of zigzags, backwards and forwards, or a lot of straight stitches, backwards and forwards. And on most modern Berninas, it's stitch number 4. And I have it at the length of like 0.9. So a little less than 1. All right, and we're going to get Loretta to come on in here. Can you see that stitch?
Yep.
All right, so that's the stitch I like. It lays nice and flat. It's very secure. And then we're going to turn this puppy around and look how nice of a pocket or a depth corner we have. And I am ready for the beach.
It's beautiful.
It's a really, really, really pretty pattern. All right, and we have to do what they say at the bottom. It says, number 9, turn bag to the right side out, and then it says, ta-da! It really does say ta-da. All right, hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.